just to introduce Luke Barclay as very kindly come into the Virgin offices for today, and he's going to talk about his book, A Loo with a View. Hello, Luke.
Hi, Harvey.
So you've just come back from America, literally in the last
Yes, I
couple
have.
of
Yes,
days. Was this a Loo with a View trip?
Well, I was on the hunt for a Loos with views. Yes, but no, I was just visiting friends. But
Okay.
but I did sort of everywhere I went. The Central Library, various other places. I always got an eye out for a Loo with a View, just in case.
Cool.
Just in case you see them. You
The
know.
hunt goes on.
The hunt does continue. Yes, always the hunt never stops.
Excellent. This is quite a quirky concept for a book. How did it come about?
Yes, it's quirky. Years ago, I was on a family holiday down in Cornwall, and we were in a cottage, and in the upstairs bathroom there was a loo by a window, and as one sat on the loo, there was a view out of this window,
Yeah.
And there was what I later discovered, a 5th century chapel on the edge of, which you could see from the loo, of course, and on the edge of the cliff with beautiful waves, and I just remember it being it was an exciting sort of adrenaline fueled sort of wonderful moment, sitting thinking, wow, what a great view, and and then always remembered it. And years later, I was in my flat in London. I think it was a Sunday morning, and I was seated in the bathroom once more, and just I was staring at a bath and the floor and a door, and just remember back to that wonderful experience down in Cornwall. And I thought, well, wouldn't it be great to try and find all the other views from Loos, or great views from Loos around the world?
Yeah.
And so that day, my search began, and A Loo with a View was born. When I first I drew a wish list of loos that I'd love to find around the world, and one of them was a view of the peak of Mount Everest, and I stumbled across this photo taken by a lady who now lives in Singapore, and she took it on the morning of the new millennium from a Buddhist monastery high in the Himalayas. And as you'll see in the photo, through the window of the loo is a perfect view, and you can see the peak of Mount Everest.
Wow.
So it's a phenomenal loo with a view.
Absolutely.
Probably my favourite in the book, in fact. When I remember stumbling across the photo and just thinking, wow, this book might work.
Excellent stuff. One of the things that kind of struck me going through the book is you've just got a huge range of different toilets.
Yes, indeed. Part of the book, when I was putting the book together, I did this around the world tour, loo hunt, with a camera. I went to India, I went to Bali, I went to San Francisco, then Las Vegas, and then Arizona, and then flew home. And I was just purely by chance was passing through Singapore airport, and there it was between gates B6 and B7, and I spent the entire transit in there, sort of sheepishly hiding whenever anyone came in.
Yeah.
And waiting to try and get the perfect photograph, and various planes went by. I saw planes taking off and landing, and finally got the shot that we're using in the book. But yeah, I spent quite a long time in there and got quite pally with the loo attendant, who is extraordinarily proud of his loo, and rightly so. It's a cracking loo. Yeah.
Is that one-way glass on there?
I believe so. I believe it is. Yes, I believe it is. And there's also a view in the ladies. I mean, this is a urinal, so so the gents, as you standing, you get the view of the runway and planes going by.
Sure.
But I heard from the Malaysian loo attendant that the ladies also have a view, but I think it's from the sinks whilst they're washing their hands.
Okay.
Still pretty impressive.
The guys win that one, though.
The guys do win that one, yes, indeed.
I guess you might have already answered this question, but what could you tell us what your favourite loo in the whole book?
Yeah, I mean,
is?
it's like asking a parent to kind of to name their favourite child. One on an island in the Zambezi River on Livingston Island, literally meters away from the drop of Victoria Falls, which is where Dr. Livingston, on the island, he first laid eyes on Victoria Falls. So that's a great one with lots of good history. Yeah, there's one on top of Mount Fuji, which is great. One at 14,200 feet, I think, on Mount McKinley, also known as Denali in Alaska. And then there's one at the Lord's Cricket Ground, where you can stand and watch the cricket. There must have been some, great sporting moments viewed from that loo.
You're going to have your website will be up. A
Yep.
Loo with a view dot.
It's looswithviews.com.
Looswithviews.com
Yep.
is up, and I believe you're asking for submissions.
Yes, well, I'm hoping, as we talked about earlier, the search is continuing, and I'd love if people know of loos with views, or if they've got photographs of loos with views, to email me at looswithviews.com with their suggestions or photographs, and yeah, I'd love to hear from them.
Brilliant stuff. Okay, well, thank you very much, Luke Barclay, for coming in and chatting with us, and good luck with the book.
Thanks, pleasure.